All right. Hello. Buenas tardes. Good evening. And buenos dias somewhere out there in the world. And you're probably saying, why does she always say that? Good afternoon, good evening, good morning somewhere out there in the world. I've been saying this for years because I know that there's an international presence
That's right.
on our lives. And so we are happy to be here and can't wait for you to watch our show again Thursday at 8 p.m.
Right. Right.
Central Standard Time.
Yeah, we have an international audience now. That's why Eve says good morning, good afternoon, good evening, because our distinguished guest last week was Indian descent.
Yes.
And
so
he's got family in India
That's right.
that they might want to watch, and you don't know what time zone that they're watching from, but
That's right. That's right. And so we do want to thank him for coming on, Dr. Sudesh Chandra. And it was interesting of what I learned. Many people may not think of as them as a first responder.
right. But he's a hero.
He is a hero. And speaking of hero, this is the show of the face of a hero. And a hero may be watching right now or may be listening and saying, well, that's me. Because he's so humble. And, we're calling him a hero on social media. And he's like, I'm no hero.
That's
They don't look at it that way. They just go with it, go with their heart, go with their love and passion. And so those are exactly what we call heroes.
Right. And we'd love to have any hero that'd like to be on our show. They can reach us on Facebook or on our website, faceofahero.com, or you can call us at 872-265-1829.
Yes.
Call us. You want to be on the show? We'd love to hear your story. We would love to hear your story, and we'd love to hear everybody's story.
Yeah. I know that we're going to have a dispatcher come on sometime in the near future. We want to hear what it feels like, because after reading, I get reports and I get things on social media that come to me from different cities. So I was reading the Cherville Police Department. Kudos to you guys. I have been stopped by Cherville PD before when I had an accident. That was Cherville PD right there. And one person actually, I think I rubbed their tire. I felt something. I kind of like swerved a bit to the other lane.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what I hit. But I'm looking at the driver next to me, just kept going. And I'm looking through my rear mirror and they're like going behind me. And I'm like, okay, they're still going. So I didn't hit them in my mind. I didn't know what I hit, right? Well, thank goodness it was rubber to rubber. But do you know that these people were just watching to see where I was going? I went into the next city. They turned right. And then next, is like, oh, okay, are they stopping me? Well, I pulled in and I'm like, hey, officer, how's it going today, young man? He's like, it seems to me like we got a call that there was an altercation on the road. And I'm like, what?
Hit and run.
Exactly. An altercation. And I said, is this racial? Because I'm not like Caucasian, although I'm light-skinned. I could pass forward, but I think there were Caucasians in the car, and I'm like looking to see if I hit them, they'll pull me over, they'll do something. I'll stop. I'm not running anywhere.
Or even holler at you through the window.
Right,
Hey.
you beep, 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 right? Like some people do, or honk.
Uh-huh.
So, and the cop kind of like thought it was funny too, because I said, an altercation? I'm just going to go and do some COVID testing. I'm on my way to East Chicago. I said, is that so? They called. I said, I'll tell you what I did feel. I felt like I hit something, but I didn't know what it was. I saw a car driving. I was watching that car to see if I hit that car, and they kept going, and I did too. I said, but I don't have any road rage or altercation with anybody on the road. On the contrary, I'm a very careful driver, right?
If anything, they would have, like you said, like we're saying, they would have beeped the horn or said something.
Pulled me over or something.
Or said, hey, you hit my car.
Right. And so he says, we have to call in the PD from the city here because we're from Cherville and this isn't Cherville. I said, sure, no problem. I know I had to get somewhere. And it was cold, and he's like, it's going to take a while. So we just reported it as a caution or something. He says, so they inspected my car. He said, is this it? I said, it actually feels like tar. on the round rim around from over my tire.
Right.
And I said, but there's no dent, no nothing. So he says, yeah. I said, it felt like I hit rubber. And he says, you must have just tapped the wheel. I said, whatever it is, I did not know. I said, I swerved over a little bit and that was that. And I kept watching who that driver was and what they were going to do. And he says, so, check your wheel tonight if it goes flat or whatever. I'm like, sure. Well, I no longer have that car, but nothing had happened. So I had to just wipe down what it felt like tar, grease.
But I'm just trying to picture, was there wheels sticking out or?
Yeah, it was one of those vehicles with the big wheels sticking out.
Oh, okay, almost like a oversized tire.
Yeah. And I felt like I rubbed on rubber or rubbed on something, but not like a impact. It didn't feel like an impact. So I was like dumbfounded.
Oh my God.
When the cops pulled me over, I was like, really? I said, an altercation? What is that? I heard road rage, but an altercation?
Altercation.
I'm fighting with my wheels, with my tires.
Your car is fighting with that other car.
Right. But, kudos to Cherville PD. And so the reason why I'm saying that, and if you don't mind, Augustine, this March in 2022, I thought it was more peaceful, but they were really busy.
Cherville?
Yes. It says the Cherville PD Patrol Division responded to 1,266 calls, 1,266 calls for service, and had a total call volume of 1,391 calls. That's 1,391 calls. Yes. 88 accident reports were taken. 145 total arrests were made, and a total of 179 misdemeanor charges and 33 felony charges were filed. 33 level 6 felonies and 89 class A misdemeanors. I was like, are they talking about the same city I drive through and I'm around all the time? And they said also 35 class B misdemeanors and 55 class C misdemeanors. 42 narcotic charges were filed. Wow. 43 DUI. Yeah, they got a lot of bars there. A lot of restaurant, bar and grills. 3 DUI charges, 46 traffic charges, and 81 criminal charges. A total of 60 warrants were served. 881 traffic stops were performed, which served resulted in a total of 200 local ordinances tickets, 350 state infractions tickets, 520 written warnings being issued. So the patrol officers were also responsible for 134 proactive patrol calls. Keep up the great work. I was like, oh my God. Am I hearing right? Is this Cherville, Indiana? I'm like, I had to respond to it. I really did. I had to say, well, kudos to you. Thank you for your service. But it's very peaceful. Even though after what I read, I was like, that does not sound like a peaceful city.
No, not at all.
I thought I was reading Chicago. No offense to your city.
No, here in Chicago, we get something happening every second.
Shootings. I hear more shootings, right?
More shootings. Carjackings have been on the rise here.
Wow. Carjacking and also theft of catalytic converters.
Oh, yeah. In my neighborhood here.
A lot of catalytic converters.
We have this app that shows you what's going on in the community. And even with the Ring app, you got videos. Our neighbors are showing, video of these catalytic converter thieves out there. And one lady, she actually woke up. She heard the sawzall that was cutting. And
oh, my gosh. They are ruthless. They don't care. Broad daylight. They don't care.
Yeah.
They do not care. And, of course, from the Gary Police Department, Detective Sergeant Victor Moore and Sergeant James Gasky celebrated 32 years of service and was sworn in March of 1990. Still in service.
God bless them.
Thank you for your service.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I'm really wanting to hear from a firefighter.
Yes. I've been reaching out to some firefighters, and we want to hear your story. Yes. We want to hear your stories. The EMTs, we want to hear your story. And again, you come on our show, you don't have to mention any names of anybody.
What department if we know they're from Indiana and they don't have to say what department, it could be whatever city, just say Indiana. But
but even like some of the situations that you're in that, we don't want any names. We just want to hear your story. We want to hear the hero side of you. I was thinking about the firefighters.
Do you remember a movie that's called Backdraft?
Yes.
Or I think, am I saying it right?
Backdraft.
Backdraft? How those fires just take a life of their own.
Yeah, there was actually backdraft that happened not too, I want to say within the last 2 to 3 months. Firefighter was in there rescuing some people, and he got a backdraft, and he had somebody
like,
in his arms, pushed him, second floor,
That
pushed
force.
him off the balcony.
Wow. And for the amount of money that they get paid, Tino, not even $100,000, but they're out there, not even 80, but they're out there saving lives. Who's protecting theirs?
Risking their lives for saving people that they don't even know.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what color, gender, race, religion, anything. They just go in there, their job, they're dedicated
Yeah.
to their job to save somebody.
Yeah.
Just like the EMTs, same thing.
Kudos to them. Kudos to that. I mean, they're out there running after a fire, running into one to go save someone that's still in a building, in a home.
Or even an animal. I've seen
I've seen people go to the extreme for an animal, sometimes
Yes.
more so than a human being, and I just got to keep it real. That some people, unfortunately, love animals more than they do
Oh yeah.
people, and they respect animals more than they do human beings. But to
Maybe
each his
because they
own.
get more love from some
Right?
animals.
They don't come back at you like some people do, right? Well, you're an animal lover. I can't
have
speak on
my
that because I don't
doggy
have
is
any animals.
So loyal, so loyal. No matter what happens, that
Yes,
dog
he
is
is.
always at that door waiting for me. When
Waiting
I
for
get
Papa.
waiting. Love my Doberman.
But I know that I am one that have said, well, they know what they signed up for,
Right.
but they're never thinking that it's going to happen every day, every other day. Sometimes they have to stay in the station overnight, 4 days, and then they take 3 days off. So I really want to have them walk through a day with us, just
Right.
like we had the RN, to describe what is it like.
Yeah.
Watching it in a movie is a different story, or
Even-
one of those shows.
Yeah. Even how you guys get along as a family, because you have to. You're living with these
Yeah,
people
yeah.
for 24 hours. You have to cook. You have to break bread. You have to do everything together.
Deal with each other, different.
And then, excuse me. And then
characters?
you have to go out and put out fires and save lives if need be.
Yeah,
And you have to have each other's back. Those are the stories we want to hear. How does it go through, especially when you just started getting along? How difficult was it getting along with your new roommates, I'm going to say,
right.
co-workers?
And what always comes to mind, and when we were talking to some of the police officers we've interviewed, is a burnt up baby, or anyone for that matter,
Oh yeah.
and they have to go in and rescue them where they may not be alive anymore.
Right.
And they have 4th, 5th degree burns and
Well-
90% of their body. And wouldn't you have that engraved in your mind coming home
Oh,
day in
definitely.
and day out?
Here, my thoughts on that also, not only seeing that child, but how about a child that has smoke inhalation? You're giving that child mouth to mouth, or they have machines in that, but and you're trying to resuscitate that child, and as much as you want, it doesn't
They
happen.
don't make it. Yeah, I mean,
And then
I
you-
want to hear how they feel,
And then you with having children at home.
Yeah, going home to your child and someone wasn't able to make it home to theirs. Several years ago, there was a house, not anymore, on my old block. And I grew up with the family that lived there. We were best friends, and then they moved away. But then there was a family with kids, and it's probably in the news. It probably made it out in the news because the dad had his child in his arms, and he only got as close to the door. They didn't make it.
Wow. That is horrible.
That was all smoke inhalation.
Yeah.
And just to see that, I mean, you have to have a strong mind, strong backbone to be able to handle that day in and day out.
Exactly.
But to remember that and have it engraved in your mind, that's got to be hard.
Let me tell you, going through a fire, experiencing a fire, I'm going to say, it's got to be maybe one of the, up there with one of the most traumatic experiences that you can have. And when I was 10, we lost our house to a fire. And I remember, and this is one of the things that, it's given me an incentive to, how can I say, it's given me an incentive to do more for myself. And it has given me more energy, I'm going to say. We were 10 years old. Okay, my brother, we had a room, and, God bless my father, he provided for us, and he owned a 3-flat, but it was a frame 3-flat. So I remember my mother screaming. It was about maybe 12 o'clock at night. And at that time she was screaming. My brother says, "Oh, hey bro, go see what mom's screaming about." So I'm all groggy-eyed, walking into my mom's bedroom, and she's screaming. And I said, "Mom, what are you screaming about?" She says, "The house is on fire next door." And I was like, well, it wasn't a house. It was actually a building in that. But, I open up the curtains. I see light, and I open up the curtains, and we lived on the second floor. The whole back porch was engulfed in flames. So I ran back and, told my brother, "Hey, the house is on fire next door, blah, blah, blah." Anyways, to make a long story short, imagine, Eve, that you have the way you're living, and here's the way I say, it's like autumn. You see how autumn is? She's got quite a bit going on in that, very fortunate child in that. To be from one night to the next night, sleeping in your cousin's basement on a concrete floor, and then having all hand-me-down clothes, this and that. It really, really, really affected me quite a bit, and affected the whole family in that. And then my father being an immigrant, the insurance company didn't, give everything to what, pay my father for what everything that he had. But anyways, that's why I don't want to get too much into it, but it was a traumatic experience in that. And, thank God everybody got out safe, and then we ended up finding out that the house next door, the building next door, it was arson, because they wanted to collect the insurance on it. They only had transient tenants that were living there and that. But anyways, but yeah,
so it was an insurance job.
It was,
but it could be tragic.
Oh yeah,
over something that it's not even worth it if you lose a life over that.
Well, that's the whole thing. What if, because their house was framed and it was an old, remember the old tar siding? Our house was tar siding, and that's what. Imagine if my mother didn't wake up.
Yeah. Then what?
Then we had three families in our building in that. But anyways, that's why I say
it happens. It happens. But some people may think heroes are those that are in these services, right? Like you said, the Minutemen, the police officers, the firefighters, the EMTs, the dispatchers. They could be also just a bystander. Could be a hero.
That's right.
That has actually saved a life.
Right.
That is a hero.
Yeah. Somebody that's put their life
at risk and in danger for someone else, especially a stranger. I've seen many things that happen like that. I've read stories in the past where they've actually risked their life for someone else. And I love seeing multicultural things. I love seeing how we can all work together and save someone's life. And what is sad is when someone is racist and doesn't, I'll just say that, person is racist and they don't want to do anything with Latino, or they want to do anything with a black person. But what would you do if that was the only one that could save your life? Would you say, no, don't touch me because you're Latino or because you're white or you're black? We don't think like that, do we?
No.
But what if that's the last person or the only person that's around you and you have an emergency? You are dying. You need some CPR. You need some resuscitation. Your car's on fire.
Right.
And you're at the side of the road. You're at the mercy of somebody that you're racist to. Then now what?
You need help from anybody.
You know,
That point.
and that's what I don't see that is right, to not like a certain ethnicity or race. I mean, to me, there's only one race, the human race. The
Exactly.
human race. So to say that I don't like them is because the person that has the problem is the one that doesn't like them. Not because I'm a Latina or I'm black or whatever. I'm not the one with the problem. It's the person that doesn't like me for what I look like. They're
That's
the
right.
ones with the problem. But yet I'm going to go there and save your butt, whether you like me or not.
Exactly.
So now, are you going to thank me? Are you going to still feel that way towards our race, our nationality, our ethnicity? Or is that going to change your heart? I'm sure there's somebody out there that's probably experienced that, because we got a lot of haters out here. We got a lot of people that are still racist here in this century,
Oh yeah.
21st century, and people are still not liking skin color. We all bleed the same, people. Red,
right.
rojo, same color blood. All right? We were all created the same way. It takes two to
Absolutely.
procreate, and here we are. We gotta love each other, right?
Yeah.
We gotta love each other. Well, I also wanted to talk about someone that I've had. Also, for those of you that may not know, I am going 11 plus years as a co-host to Nuestra Comunidad NWI, which means our community, Northwest Indiana. And that show is for the community, by the community, and about the community, because we bring in information, we educate, we inform, we empower, and sometimes we entertain. And it's bilingual, English and Spanish. And it's the only one of that kind in the region. And we just had Officer Friendly, but he's the chief of police of Valparaiso. And of course, he did accept to come on our show, where it's a little different. We really tap into their personal side here on this show, The Face of a Hero. How else are we going to get empathy, understanding, love, if we don't really touch
That's right.
where it hurts, where it
That's
counts,
right.
right, in their heart? And of course, he has accepted our invitation, so he'll be coming out, and he's the chief of police of Valparaiso, Indiana. And let
I
me
can't
tell
wait to
you,
meet him.
oh, when you see him, you're gonna look at yourself, you're gonna look at him, and I actually embarrassed him because I asked him, "Can you stand? Because you are an example of what a police officer should look like. No disrespect to anybody that's overweight, but I am thinking if somebody has to run and save my life, will they be able to if they're 100 pounds overweight?"
And exactly what Eve had said. And it's no disrespect, but you had to take a physical fitness test to
Yeah,
get
that's
on
what
the
I was
force.
thinking.
And for your own sake, also, they should have it at least once a year, another
Should be
retest.
required yearly.
And it's like the SWAT team; they have to meet a criteria to stay on the SWAT team,
Right.
because
right,
if not, they bump them off.
right.
And I'll give you another example. My daughter's in a performing arts school. She has to get tested every year when she comes back to see what level she should be in. And I think that should be the same thing for the police officers. Hey, look, we're not picking on you or anything, but this is for your own health. This is for your own good. We don't want you to be a bodybuilder, but at least be able to run and carry your own weight.
Yeah, yeah. And so I had to tell him, can you stand up? Because I want people to see you. And of course, it kind of got embarrassed, but I was actually applauding him that he kept himself fit. I'm not saying he was all muscular. He was slim. He looked fit and in good health. And so he was saying that they actually have a health program for his officers.
That's wonderful.
And also for mental health.
That's even
Because
better.
I think that is big. Who can it be now? Don't go anywhere. Take it away. Hey, I actually would like to bring someone who just called. The American Red Cross has been calling me 2-3 times a day, every single day, and I know why. I'm an organ donor, I'm a blood donor, and I'm also a plasma donor. And they've been calling me because I'm an O positive.
Me too.
And they are short of blood, so they need our
Short of
blood, right?
That's right. Who else
And,
is a no positive out there?
I
The Red
love
Cross
donating
needs you.
blood and plasma because I'm saving lives. And this month of April is Donate Life Awareness Month, in case you didn't know. So if you are an organ donor, it's in your license. Get that little heart on there.
That's right.
Because when you are gone, what good does your organs do by
right.
burying them? Take whatever you could use from my body.
Right. If it's going to help somebody.
Let it live on somewhere else. My heart is healthy. Give it to someone so that they can live on. I don't know about my eyes, but but if my lungs are healthy, I'm not a smoker. I was a secondhand smoker when I was little, only when my dad smoked in the car. He didn't smoke in the house, only in the car. And that was for the few times and minutes that I was in the car. So I won't say that it really affected me. Now,
God,
back in the day, those clubs, didn't they smoke in those clubs?
All those clubs. Not only that, the restaurants.
Oof.
Remember the restaurants?
I mean,
Oh my God!
I choke on that smell.
And it seems like forever that they stopped it. And now that I think about it, I can't believe that they allowed smoking in the restaurants and that. But
well, some bars still do.
Yeah.
Some bars in Indiana still have the smoking, and I will not go in a place where
either.
there is smoke.
Me either.
That smell it gags me. It makes me nauseous. It just gives me a headache.
all of the above, and it clings onto your clothes.
And your hair. If you have long hair,
Yeah.
all it takes. So, when I was commuting in the train and on the platform, people are waiting to walk out. They got their cigarette right there in their hand. As soon as they light it up and I pass and they blow, I would get to work and my hair would smell like that smoke. All it took was just me passing by them, right? Yeah. But yeah, the Red Cross, and now, those that have had COVID in the past, have the antibodies. So for more reason, they want your blood. They want my antibodies and they want my blood because they are checking for plasma in your blood. They're also checking for antibodies to use that for many sick patients from COVID. COVID isn't gone, people. Don't be too laid back. COVID is not gone yet completely.
Speaking of blood, I just read somewhere in, I think it was the UK, over on the other side of the world, but they have found plastic in our blood.
See? Look, I'm getting the call again. Red Cross, I'll talk to you one of these days. Yeah. I'm sorry.
So anyways, they're finding microfibers of plastic in our blood. And the reason they think it is because the plastic bottles that we drink water from, they said that the particles are so small that you can't see it. Of course, you can't see it with the human eye, but...
Yep, microscopically, yeah.
So
I believe it.
They're finding that.
That's sick.
And, you got to be careful. Drink from a stainless steel bottle. Something. Forget about those plastic bottles.
And I am one to purchase a lot of plastic, and my daughter's like, Mom, we need to have a cleaner earth and use those bottles, stainless steel bottles, and fill it up from the refrigerator, take it with you.
It's great. And
or buy one of those big half-a-gallon bottles and you're a water drinker, right? I need to learn from that.
But even as you're talking about the cleaner earth, some of these other countries, they have these vending machines that you can throw plastic bottles in there. You throw so many in there, recycles it, it shreds them in there.
Oh, really?
And then you get some type of a coupon. Why can't we have those here?
Maybe we do and we just don't know. Maybe not out here in this area, but there may be somewhere. I don't know.
I was thinking because they do that. It's like you find bottles, boom, you pick them up, you throw it in there, you get a coupon. I'm not sure what the coupon is for. It might be for shopping, for groceries, for whatever. But make it for gasoline.
Yeah,
I'll
right.
go out there and collect all these bottles.
I get a discount for
Get a discount for gasoline.
Hey, but gasoline prices are going down. I saw in the Porter County in Indiana,
that's in
$3.97. I was like, what? Is it under
In
$4?
Chicago, we get taxed for everything. Why can't they repeal the plastic bag tax? How long is that going to last?
I freaked out when I went to California some years ago that I had to pay for my bags, for my grocery bags. In Indiana, we don't. The only place that we pay for our bags is in Aldi. It's the only place because they don't give you bags to store. You get boxes.
And I got a container, collapsible container. Whenever I go to Aldi's, I keep it in the back of my car. I take it, I put all my groceries, or I find a box in there. That's a great idea. I like that. That's like Costco. Costco,
Yeah.
you get a
Yeah.
box in there. But
Costco and Sam's, right? Right.
Chicago here, I'd love to move to
We get
Indiana.
text on, well, come on over. Come on down. The price is right.
Yes, we get text for plastic bags for gas,
Food.
the bottled waters. We get
We get no tax on food when you go grocery
in Cook
shopping.
County ammunition. You get tax for everything. We get tax on top of tax on top of tax on top of tax.
So how much money are you really making?
For real?
Think about that. You get taxed for everything.
Everything.
And you get taxed again when you file your taxes.
Yep. Yep.
There is a way, a legal way, where you don't have to pay your taxes.
That's
You
right.
don't have to file your taxes. Look it up, folks. But now we're getting off the topic about
Yes, heroes.
Red Cross just called me again. They want my blood. I have not donated since I see you can't do both. You can't donate plasma at the same time donate blood. Now, I do have scarring already because I've been donating blood since 2012.
Oh wow.
And I love it because it keeps track. They'll email you when your blood is on the way somewhere. They don't tell you who gets it, but they say, hey, it's on the way to this hospital. That gives me such a great feeling.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. I love getting
I
those
didn't know
emails.
that.
But I haven't donated since last year, like spring, because I have been donating plasma. And you
What's
can't
the
do
difference
that.
between the two?
Well, blood is whole. Plasma is something that's in there,
Okay.
in the blood. So now Red Cross, many people don't like to donate plasma through Red Cross because it's free, but you got these plasma clinics where you get paid to do it. Some people, it's unfortunate, Tino, the need is there.
Oh, yeah.
They'll go because they need that money.
Oh, absolutely.
I go, the money, hey, thank you, that's a bonus. But I go because I love saving lives. If I can replenish it, why not give it?
Yeah.
You know, let's be heroes in doing that.
Yes.
My dad used to have a fit. He's like, why are you donating blood, Eve? You need that blood. Your body needs it. You're going to end up getting sick. He used to say that until one day he had a bleeding ulcer and he needed a blood transfusion. So he was in the hospital, in ICU, and needed that transfusion. And once he had it, I educated him. And I said, Dad, if it wasn't for that person that donated this blood that you needed, we don't know if you'd still be here talking to me. Now, remember when you would tell me I shouldn't be doing that? This is the reason why I do it.
Right.
Because I have the rare blood where it can be given to anyone. So
positive,
he
yes.
stopped messing with me about that. He says, oh, ya entiendo. I understand now.
Yeah.
People think that you donate, you don't get it. You get replenished back within that same day, you know, but don't overdo it. Now, it's weird when I was donating plasma. It's a weird feeling. It's not supposed to tremor. So it like vibrates in your veins and it feels weird, but it feels hot. It feels weird to do that. I was a little nervous the first time, but I haven't gone the last 6 months since I had a bone graft done in my mouth. And then they asked me, well, you can't because you had this done this far apart from this. So we need to know what kind of bone graft you had. Well, I didn't even know that information. So I haven't been back since. But I guess it's time because Red Cross has been calling me.
Yeah. You know,
The need is there.
I think a lot of, I want to say maybe Mexican families have this mentality not to donate organs or blood or anything like that because I'm not sure, but I'm just speculating.
You need it.
That my mother used to say that in Mexico, they would sometimes take people and, you know, when they needed parts, and especially the poor people, and they would unfortunately take parts of their bodies without their, what do you call it? Without their, not knowledge. What's the word I'm looking for? Without their say so.
Their consent?
Without their consent. So, you know, they'll grab somebody and say, hey, this kid, he's got certain liver and, you know, whatever. And, sir, we will get that for you, whatever, and that. But my mother, she was not a strong believer of that. But, you know, again, it might be from stories.
And
might
not
be-
knowing, the fear.
Fear.
The stories that they believe and that may not be true.
Yeah, they might be tall
Instead
tales.
instead of doing the research themselves, if someone tells me something, I'm not going to run and believe it. I'm going to do my own research, right?
Absolutely.
And I also want to give a shout out to CODA. If this area has not heard of CODA, they are a non-for-profit children's organ transplant organization or association. They too are heroes because they have funding. They've gotten grants and they help raise funds for families of children in need of a transplant. And so I've partnered with them and to assist with the Spanish-speaking families that have a child that is in need of a transplant or already had a transplant, but there's expenses that come with that. Transportation to go back and forth to wherever the hospital is that they're taking their child to.
That's wonderful.
Meals. They have to pay for staying at a hotel. So they reimburse. They have a per diem for gasoline as well, and food and lodging. And so, Rick, thank you for asking me to help. And so people need to know that there is a place where they can go and apply, because where they're getting the patients from are from the social workers in the hospitals. They're the ones that refer them to CODA. But why do we wait until someone gets referred from a hospital? I'm going to bring that awareness out here. Again, donate life, right? And so
Absolutely.
the Children's Organ Transplant Association helps children and young adults who need a life-saving transplant by providing fundraising assistance and family support.
Is this national? Or
It is nationwide.
Okay.
They're based out of Bloomington, Indiana.
CODA.
Yeah.
Remember that.
COT as in Tom A, Children's Organ Transplant Association. It is a nationwide organization. It is a non-for-profit. And if you go to the website, COT as in Tom A.org, you will see patients that have goals. What they do is if they have a link to raise funds, they help them raise more funds. But they're also giving grants and giving money to families in need to reimburse them. So we were in touch with several families the other day. Tomorrow I'll get to talk with other families that they signed up for this, but there was no follow-up because the language barrier.
Right.
And so they were very happy, the families we spoke to already. And so we're asking them to write a list of all their expenses, the dates of every visit they had to. Now, there was one where still needed to get the transplant, needed a heart and a kidney. And then this other one actually did have her transplant and it went great. And there were expenses where parents don't work during that time because they have to go 2-3 hours away.
Right.
Some did get a chance to stay at the Ronald McDonald's house, so that is free lodging, but there's still expenses. They were catching public transportation, the train, food. That cost, that adds up, even medication. So they will help with that as well to help reimburse some of that cost. Something is better than nothing.
Absolutely.
And I appreciate that. So every single person at CODA truly cares about Cohen and the families of everyone here. They kind of lift a little bit of that burden, the financial burden, if you will. So CODA's support and guidance and compassion and the price is a priceless gift. So to me, they look like a hero too.
Fabulous program.
Yeah.
Fabulous program.
And I'm thankful. If you want to become a volunteer, by all means, just bring awareness. Let people know that these resources are available. It doesn't cost you to open your mouth. We're so quick to want to refer them to a good fast food restaurant or a restaurant and get nothing out of it. But here we have these resources and no one is sharing that information. So I take that as part of my responsibility, my due diligence to our community is to share these resources so you know where to go. I mean, if it's $500 getting reimbursed, that's $500 back in my pocket I could use to pay for my child's medicine or transportation.
That's a lot of money, $500.
Some have gotten up to $5,000 from CODA, but they also help raise funds for them.
Right. Even $100 is going to be...
right now with the price of gasoline.
Oh, yeah. Transportation.
A tank of gas is 60 plus.
Yes.
On a 4-cylinder. Right?
On a 4-cylinder.
Well, this is the face of a hero, and we're just going to make this short. We will have a guest for our next show, but we wanted to talk amongst each other.
Yes.
So that you can get to know what is happening out here I don't like watching the news, Eve. Well, how do you know what's happening out here? Believe me, without me asking and looking, it comes to me. It comes to me. I just say, okay, Google, good morning. And it runs down a whole news. I'm like, I don't want to hear all that. Just give me the temperature. I'm good. There's enough toxic, enough negativity.
Oh, definitely.
So we need to bring some positivity into your homes through this show. And let's continue. And we will continue so long as you continue to watch us.
Yes, absolutely. We're going to continue on and on and on and on. So, again, we are the Face of a Hero on Facebook, thefaceofahero.com, the Face of a Hero on YouTube, and call us.
What's the number?
872-265-1829, 872-265-1829. Call us. Even if you just want to talk, call us.
And there is a live person, right?
Yes. You don't want to be on the show, but we want to hear you. We want to hear from you. You got something to say, something to tell, a story to tell us. You need some help, but you don't want to disclose it. Call us. Call us.
Yes. So thank you so much for watching us. Remember that we are on every Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we thank you for your time, for your support, and just share the word, spread the word, and say, hey, there's a show here for you and about you. This platform is for our first responders. This platform is for you to open up and get things off your chest so that others can understand you, why you do what you do. It always takes you back to, well, something happened when I was a child.
Yes. Something that Eve said or something that Augustine said.
Exactly. So with that being said, we got to go. We got places to go, people to see, and things to do.
Absolutely. So good night. Till next time.
Yes. See you later. Peace be with you. God bless you. Next time.